Alright guys, welcome once again to Gbpjpy. If you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe so you can always be notified on contents like this. Alright, we are going to be doing our pre-market analysis on the three pairs you're going to be looking at this week. We're going to be starting with gold. Alright, let's start with gold here. Alright, as you all can see, we can spot that gold is generally in an uptrend after they had broken through this range here. We have our monthly low here, our weekly upper zone, and our weekly midway zone. So gold tested the lower zone here, when tested the upper zone, tried selling again, but the buy pressure actually pushed gold up to the upper zone, and at this level now they have equally broken through this upper zone. So what we are going to be looking at, we will be expecting gold to continue buying from here in one way or the other. On the monthly time frame, we expect gold to give us a push down and another push to the upside. All right, let's go down to the weekly time frame to add more meaning into this analysis. All right, what can we see on gold on the weekly time frame? It's pretty clear, the same thing as gold is in an uptrend, giving us this high here, a higher low, a higher high, higher low, higher high, another higher low, and finally it is creating another higher high. So if gold is giving us this higher highs and higher low movements, what are we going to be expecting? We expect gold to continue pushing to the upside. And where is going to be our target for gold? Where we're going to see that when we move down to the daily time frame. Let's see what we have on the daily time frame for gold. On the daily time frame, we can now see it is pretty clear that we have our daily lower zone here, our daily upper zone here, and our daily midway zone here. And if you are new to this channel, you will not understand what I'm talking about now about the push and executions. All right, so we have this push to the upside. Price has given us this correction, and they are giving us this push and broken through this other higher high. All right, so if they are broken through the higher high, what are we going to be looking at? We expect price to push a little down, give us a retest on this previous supply zone, and equally make it a demand zone to push price to the daily upper zone. That makes more sense. So let's rush down to the 4 hours time frame to see if we have more meaning. On the 4 hours time frame, price is still generally in an uptrend, as we can see price giving us this higher highs and higher lows. We can see a higher high here, we can equally spot a higher high here, a higher low, and now they have created another higher high. So what are we expecting them to do? We expect buyers to continue pushing price to the daily upper zone. So on gold, we have more buy momentum now than selling pressure. So what we expect now that gold should do on the daily time, on the 4 hours time frame, is to give us a little sell pressure to this downside, give us a retest, and push price to the daily upper zone. If that happens, it's going to give us a very clear scenario to take a nice trade. But again, let's move down to the 1 hour time frame to see what exactly gold is doing. All right, so we are on the 1 hour time frame now. What do we see on the 1 hour time frame? It's pretty clear. Price has been giving us this higher highs, higher lows, broken through the 1 hour higher high, and now tested this 1 hour upper zone, and has given us a lower low, a higher low, on the previous 1 hour higher high. So what do we expect? We are going to be taking this trade immediately the market opens, because we have had this pin bar candlestick confirmation here that is telling us that price will continue moving to the upside, and maybe price will move right up to the daily upper zone. So we're going to be taking this trade immediately the market opens from here, and our stop loss just below the 1 hour higher low, and our take profit at the daily upper zone. So hopefully we make money on gold. All right, that being said, on gold we might want to be moving up to Great British Pound JPY. Let's see what we have on Great British Pound JPY on the monthly time frame. On the monthly time frame, it's pretty clear what we can be expecting on Great British Pound JPY. Great British Pound JPY is so nice to see on the monthly time frame. What do we see now? We see price has actually been in a general uptrend, creating this higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and higher lows. And in creating these higher highs and higher lows, we can see that price has actually given us this monthly lower zone here, a monthly upper zone here, and a monthly midway zone here. And what do we see that price has done, which is very clear to us that price will continue moving to the upside? For price to continue moving to the upside, we have seen that price tested the daily lower zone here, broke through that area, right, moved right up to the monthly higher zone, and came back, retested the monthly lower zone here, broke through the monthly midway zone, and is now finding its way back to the monthly upper zone. On the monthly upper zone, we expect to be taking profits from there and taking our entries on the monthly time frame around this area. And we can see these two rejection pin bar candlestick confirmations that are giving us signals on the monthly time frame that price is going to be moving to the upside. Let's go to the weekly time frame to add more meaning into this analysis. On the weekly time frame, the scenario is pretty clear. What do we see? A double bottom confirmation here. Price tested the monthly lower zone, came back, retested the monthly lower zone with a double bottom confirmation. And what do we know? Each time price gives us a double bottom, we expect to buy if it happens on the higher time frame from 1 hour downward. We don't look at this. All right, so now we are expecting to have price continue moving to the upside because we have this bullish engulfing candlestick indicating that there is more buy pressure in the market. Now that we know on the weekly time frame that price is actually expected to go up, let's see what we can be expecting. What are we going to be expecting here? We expect price to continue pushing up, broke through the weekly midway zone, come back for a retest, then we take our trades right up to the daily upper zone. All right, so let's equally move down to the daily time frame to add more meaning into this analysis. On the daily time frame, what do we see? We actually see that the scenario is a little clear here, as we have price has given us this double bottom formation here. After having this double bottom formation, what do we see? We have this clear buy pressure pushing price to the upside. And what do we expect price to give us on the daily time frame now? We expect price to test again our weekly midway zone, come back for a retest on the daily, on the monthly midway zone before we can have this buy pressure pushing us up to the upside. And if you see, each time we have a double bottom on a higher time frame, it's an indication that we should be taking the trades. Let's go down to the 4 hours time frame to add more meaning into our analysis. On the 4 hours time frame, the scenario is pretty clear. What do we expect now on the 4 hours time frame? We have our 4 hours midway zone here, which is actually giving us very clear indications that price is willing to continue going to the upside. So what do we expect the 4 hours time frame to do for us? We expect price now to come back for a retest on the 4 hours midway zone, then give us this push to the upside. If that happens, we are going to be taking this trade around this area here for a buy to the monthly upper zone. All right, so what are we going to be targeting? We're going to take our trades here after we see a little sell pressure to the downside, and we are going to be taking profits on the monthly upper zone. All right, so our stop loss will be just below that area there. So if price starts buying from here, we expect price to push a little down, starts buying. The moment they break through this our weekly midway zone, what are we going to be expecting? We will move our stop loss into profit and break even around here. Then we hold the trade long term till we hit our monthly upper zone. That is it for the Great British Pound JPY. Let's quickly move on to Great British Pound USD to see what we have for Great British Pound USD. On the monthly time frame, what do we see on Great British Pound USD? We can see the monthly lower zone here, monthly upper zone here, and the monthly midway zone here. And it's pretty clear to us that price is in an uptrend, as it's giving us this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It did not actually form a higher high, and equally failed again to form a lower low. It formed a higher low, and now the higher high has broken through these structures. So we are not going to be looking for another break of structure to the downside again, because the price has actually broken through this previous high here and this previous high here, and it's giving us a higher high. So we are going to be going down to the weekly time frame to see exactly what we can be expecting Great British Pound to do for us within the next week. All right, it is pretty clear again and very, very beautiful what we see. You can spot that price has been in an uptrend again, giving us highs, lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and it's going for another higher high. And this higher high is actually beginning with a very bullish engulfing candlestick, and the candlestick equally is engulfing a pin bar candlestick that is giving us an indication that price is willing to continue buying. All right, if that happens, we are going to be jumping in, because price might come back for a retest on the weekly lower zone to want to move right up to the weekly upper zone. If that happens, we are going in for the buy. Let's see what we have on the daily time frame and how price action is going to be moving in our favor. On the 1 day time frame, we don't actually have something very clear to see here, because the same scenario is what we have on the weekly time frame, which is giving us higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, lower lower, now a higher high, higher low, and now they have succeeded to create another higher high here, and which we expect them to come back, test this zone before they continue moving to the upside. If that happens, we are going to be buying. Let's equally move down now to the 4 hours time frame to see exactly what price is willing to do for us. On the 4 hours time frame, we expect price to actually come back for a retest on this zone here. If they come back to test the zone, we are going to be taking our entries there to move price right up to the weekly high zone. So we're going to be entering here for a buy, and our stop loss might be just below that zone, and our stop loss will be just below the zone here, and we will enter if price gives us this push to the downside before they start the new execution. If it happens that way, it's going to give us a clear entry, and immediately price breaks through this zone, we're going to be moving our stop loss into profit